Hello, everyone. Welcome again to Elevating Your Life. Paula Vail here. And oh boy, it's going to be a fascinating show today. Oh, you're going to love it. We have with us today AlanSteinfeld. He's the author of the new Amazon bestseller, Making Contact. Preparing for the new realities of extraterrestrial existence. Oh my gosh. And this is going to be so fun. The finest compilation to date about the UFO phenomena, featuring the most knowledgeable experts in the field. He is also the host and producer of the long-time running New York City cable program, New Realities. He has dedicated his life to adventures into the unknown and creating new realities. He feels we must combine our awareness of the outer world with the deeper inner contemplations of the self so that we can come into harmony with all of creation. Oh, I love that. I love that. Oh, Alan, I'm so excited. First off, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. I am so thrilled. And if you'd like to begin with maybe a little more of your background and kind of what brought you to where you're at today and writing this book.
Thank you, Paula. It's really an honor to be here with you. And, when I was growing up, I wanted to be an astronaut. I was always looking up in the stars and wondering what's up there. And, Star Trek was a big thing in the late 60s. I was obsessed with that. I read a lot of science fiction. But then, I put it away. I didn't really think that was real. I thought that was great. It's a great fan. But then I heard about these things called UFOs. And then I saw one. And then it was so no longer like science fiction. It was a reality. And I wanted to find out everything I could about the subject. It wasn't like a drastic thing. There was a light in the sky and then it disappeared and then it came back and it sort of felt like it was reading my mind. It was very odd. So I think when I call my subtitle of the book, The New Realities of Extraterrestrial Existence, that means that reality changes when we start to acknowledge that we're part of a bigger environment. When Europeans discovered the New World, the Americas, it was a whole awakening for them that there's more to reality. Of course, we're European backgrounds. It wasn't an awakening to the Native Americans that lived here, but to the European mindset, it was an expansion, and also in a way led to the Renaissance. Wow, there's a new people, new cultures, and how do we integrate this into an old framework? So that's the same thing that's happening now. The government, it's not me saying it, the government has come out and said there's things in our skies that we can't explain. Obama said that just a couple of months ago. I mean, the Navy has said that they're calling these things UAPs now instead of UFOs, and I'll explain why. But just to start, there's an acknowledgement. We have company. Guess what, Paula? We have company. That's
Company. Oh.
So how do we understand that they're not human? I mean, we're already so prejudiced even against our own race of human beings, our own species, that how do we meet the other and welcome them in? If they wanted to invade, which everyone is afraid of, the war of the world, they would have done it by now because they probably been visiting us hundreds of years now. No, they're my feelings at a higher consciousness, and they want us to grow up. We're not scientists or mainstream scientists say that we are a freak of nature. Life is a freak of nature. But, the elements that are on this earth are abundant throughout the cosmos. I don't think life is an anomaly. I think life is an emergent property of creation, and intelligent life is an emergent property of life. So I feel there's many civilizations out there, and there's evidence. And I think the government has evidence that we are being visited. Lots of people are reporting sightings. Lots of them are talking about visitation. So I don't know what to make of that. I just know there's a reality to it. I'm really excited that the world is about to change as we acknowledge this.
Yes, and so many things in your book. You share so many things discovered and spoken about by others and what's there. But I have to ask, please share with us when you saw that UFO. What was that like?
Well, okay, I'm out in New Mexico, which is sort of the land of UFOs. I've had a few sightings, I have to say. And I there was this strange shaped cloud up in the sky. It looked like a finger pointing up, like these little fluff of a cloud. And then I looked away and someone said, "Oh, there's a light there. There's a light." I said, I thought they were just joking, but I slowly turned and there was this beam of light. And then as soon as I turned, I noticed it and then it went out. It's as if like someone like pulled the plug. So that was one thing. And then I've also in my book, I talk about a real encounter experience in this trip cross country where I'm not sure what happened, but the term alien abduction, it's a weird thing, but I think I may have had one. I had a little mark on my body and I was regressed the way, because it happens on a subconscious level. So I had a little mark on me that I didn't know where that came from. It was a 4-pronged puncture mark. And it was on the back of my knee. And I said, that's weird. Someone had noticed that for me, because who looks at the back of the knee? But I do remember driving cross country with this girlfriend I had at the time. And we stayed at this strange place along this deserted canal. And we had felt like we were frozen through the night. We felt like we were in suspended animation. We woke up in the same position we went to bed in. And who even remembers that thing, right? Who remembers I couldn't remember it from last night. So something was odd and unusual. And it was after that experience that I noticed something on the back of my leg. But I also felt charged. I felt there was this different vibration, especially when me and my girlfriend were together. We had this vibrational field between us because she says she remembered more than I did that she was taken to. I know that might be too far out there, but there's been best-selling books on this. Whitley Strieber's Communion is one of the best books on this subject. So there's this interface that I feel we have to be prepared for. Not that they're going to abduct people, but they're going, and I don't know why. I have lots of theories about why that happens, but the government is preparing us in some ways because the official name for UFOs now is UAP. Have you heard that term, UAP?
No, I hadn't.
Well, UFO stands for unidentified flying object. UAP stands for unexplained aerial phenomena. But
Oh,
we went from object to phenomena basically in that terminology. You can look at Hillary Clinton mentions that on Jimmy Kimmel, like when she was running for president, she says, "Oh, we're not calling them UFOs anymore. We're calling them UAPs." So it's a phenomena, which means that it's more than objects in the sky, but that it's having a physiological and neurological effect on people. And sometimes it's an upgrade, and sometimes it's not so good. So I think it depends where you're coming from, if you're coming from fear or wonder. But to get to your audience, I just want to tell them something is happening. There's things in the sky, and I can't explain it. And you know what? This book is a collection of 12 different people, and no one has the whole picture. That's why it's a compilation. Yeah. So I want you to look at all the chapters and make a decision for yourself. What's really going on? Because something's going on. We don't know what it is. So
yes. And being the energy girl that I am, I could so relate to how you can sense something or feel something energetically, because energy is what we are. That's how we're connected to everything and everyone. So that totally makes sense to me.
That's true, that we're energy and our consciousness is connected. These beings, whoever visiting us, are also part of this extended family of consciousness. So if we're violent and disruptive and creating war, don't you think that's going to affect these other people, other beings, that's what I feel.
Our energy is felt by others. Yep.
No, local. It's in what's called, Joe Dispenza calls it the quantum field. You know Joe Dispenza's work. So our vibration is in the quantum field, and that's non-local. It's connected to all consciousness on Earth or out there or wherever it is. So our warlike nature is very upsetting to the rest of the cosmos. I feel. Don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, oh, positivity and positive energy, it makes a difference, and it feels when there's negative. I agree. And something you talk about in the book is the theory of wow. Explain to everyone what the wow is.
Well, that was a chapter by a guy named Grant Cameron, who's probably one of the best Canadian researchers in the field. He has a website called UFOs in the White House, where he tracks the US president's relationship to the phenomena. You know, Jimmy Carter had seen something, Ronald Reagan had seen something in the sky. Of course, it started with Truman in 1947 when the Roswell crash, and Truman put a top secret order on information about Roswell. So Graham Cameron says these objects are showing up now because they want us to wake up to the bigger picture. He says if you've seen a craft, you're part of the phenomenon. There are no innocent bystanders here. So your audience is sad, and actually 1 out of 4 people either have seen something unexplainable in the sky or know someone who's seen something. So this is a national and international phenomena. So the theory of wow, according to Grant Cameron, is these things are showing up and disappearing just to wake us up. It's like to say, wow, there's something more. Wow, we're part of a bigger picture of consciousness, of life. And I think it's very positive. They're sitting back because they know their appearance here will be very disturbing to a lot of people's consciousness. They're coming and going, and they're preparing us to meet them on an even playing field. They don't want to be worshipped as gods. They don't want to like rule us with their technology. They want to help us, but this is my feeling, but we need to wake up to the fact that first we need help. First, that we also just have destroying our planet with our pollution. You know, we're not going to have any company until we clean up our room. So it's like we have to get our act together. There's still wars. There's still people starving. We have the technology to feed everyone on this planet.
Yes.
There's no reason to have war. Are the Russians invading Ukraine because they need land? We can negotiate all this, I feel, with open minds, seeing ourselves as one world, because only when we are one world with a unified consciousness, as you know, we're talking now, our consciousness is unified, we're entangled. But when humanity has an entangled consciousness, we become a singularity. It's like all the cells in your body are creating you and your consciousness. So all of us are cells of Gaia coming together to create a singularity of the Gaian consciousness. So when we do that, we can meet the other planetary civilizations. That's what. Does that make sense?
Yes. And to realize how connected we are, and to know when we do things to make a better planet, to care for others, and that we're really caring for ourselves too. If we go the other direction and lack of caring and harm, we're harming ourselves.
Yes. And there's a lot of people say, what's the point? Life has no meaning. But I say life does have meaning because there's a soul and spirit, and we're come to live in harmony. And scientists may say, well, how do we know there's life out there? Well, that's just their speculation, right? I think, and scientists say, no, we haven't found evidence of life, but there's things visiting us. Life is so essential to creation. If you believe in angels, you believe in consciousness.
Yes.
Consciousness descending into the body. So why would this little blue planet, which is a really nice planet, I really love this, one of my favorite planets here, but there's billions of planets probably in our galaxy alone, and there are trillions of galaxies, and so we have to recognize that consciousness is universal. It's part of the bigger picture. And if you don't believe that, they don't understand the value of consciousness and the value of the soul. They're thinking it's all material existence, and it's not. This is not, there's, yes, of course, the world is material, but what's giving us energy? What's coming through that body there, Paula? What's animating you?
Yeah. It's energy. It's, and really, if we open up and say yes to what we may not realize, and yes, we are energy and we're open. Oh my gosh, what can manifest, what we can learn, what we can see. It's
Yes,
amazing.
people are afraid of the unknown only because they're projecting what they know onto the unknown. I say, let's welcome the unknown because it's full of possibilities.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
full of infinite life. It's full of so much more intelligence. If these beings are coming here, they're not filling up their gas tank to get here. I think they have a technology that would benefit all of us, except the oil companies, of course. And that's a big reason why I feel like the politicians are holding back on the secrets, because they know they have supposedly these crash ships in Area 51 and all these. They know there's bodies of dead aliens or live aliens. So it's the corporate, not to get too much in, I'm not really a conspiracy. I do think corporations have a lot to lose, or oil, fossil fuel, if there is this free technology, free energy that I think these craft that are visiting us, and there's thousands of sightings a year. Even the government admitted there were 400 sightings they couldn't explain. And if you go back to New Book in 1969, there were thousands of sightings they couldn't explain. So it's these conjunction between the corporations and the politicians that are really holding this information back, because I feel once we have free energy, that frees us from being enslaved to work for. Think of what a renaissance that would be if we didn't have to work to create energy, to put the gas and electric and heat, and
huge.
It would free us.
Yes,
You know,
it would open up so much.
You know what happens when we're not enslaved to the corporate powers or to money anymore? What's the result of that? What do you think the result of, abundance would be?
Oh, it would be beyond that, because really abundance isn't the physical stuff. Abundance is what comes to you, what you experience, what you feel, and what you learn, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, that's a
gift.
So if people aren't enslaved, they have more of a chance to feel and experience and create, because the world can be abundant. This is what I think is coming. We're slowly being prepared for this. This is my positive spin on it, because I am positive that the world can live in abundance. Every person here can have what they want. There's enough food, there's enough technology, enough ways. So we just have to wake up the politicians, say, okay, bring it on. What technology? Let's look at this as a planetary civilization, and let's bring the smartest people in the world to look at what technology we have to offer and how to create a one world peaceful planet where we acknowledge, ethnic, traditional, traditions, and we come together to share resources. I mean,
and that can be accomplished. We can do it, even if it's one person stepping forward that direction at a time. We can do it. And that really is a great goal and a great vision.
That's what our cosmic friends are waiting for us to grow up, because we're right now like teenagers, just, like that, when we drop the atom bomb, that's when the whole spree of alien UFO sightings started. And I think they said, uh-oh, the teenagers have the car keys, we better go check it out. So that's part of why there's much more talk about this. And on CNN, mainstream television, big names are coming forward.
And I do think we get messages every day. I'll give you an example. Last time I visited my son in Illinois, I always take the bus from the airport, and I love the bus ride and I'm always looking at the clouds. And I swear there was the clouds, and then it looked like a person and a head, and then it turned into a face. changed color. And then after a couple minutes went back out. That was a message from the angels, I mean, there's so much out there when we're aware and open to it. Oh, and it just
No, you're
put a
so right.
smile on my face.
Thank you for sharing that, because sometimes I do think people have mistaken extraterrestrials for angels because that's all they can consider it. So, but they are visiting a lot of people and it is telepathic. So when you see that, just say, okay, give me a message. Just close your eye and you'll get a message. And it doesn't matter where it's from, but the higher beings are communicating with us telepathically. That's been evident in a lot of people.
And really, angels are a higher being. So really, they're kind of, all kind of in that category, I would think.
There's divas here. There's, elementals that are communicating with. There's dolphins that are much more intelligent than humans. If we want advanced intelligence, look at the dolphins and whales. They have bigger brains, not just because they're bigger animals, but because there's more interconnectivity within their neurological makeup, which makes them smarter, more intelligent, more aware. Yeah. So we have a lot to look forward to. And when we stop the violence and the hatred and all the things that have kept us separate, when we come together as one humanity, then we can call ourselves humans. We're not humans until we create humanity. Yeah. And that oneness of consciousness, which will allow us to speak to other one consciousnesses. They're waiting on us, on you, Paula, to put the message out. Yeah. We're part of something bigger.
Yes. And, that's going to make a difference if we all just one step at a time, one person at a time, receive that message or get that message or gain that awareness and knowledge. I mean, it's just going to grow.
Yes. I say to your audience, keep your mind open and don't distrust your mind. Trust what's coming to you. Most people are not schizophrenic. Most people can handle intuition. And they say, oh yeah, I have this feeling. And that's really the next stage of our evolution. That puts us on an even playing field with whoever these beings are, because I feel that's how they communicate. It's telepathy, Mm-hmm. Before, the Tower of Babel, if you want to use a biblical allusion, that was the one language. And then when we got separate from each other, we had to develop spoken language in order to communicate. But telepathy was the original form of communication.
So, and, our intuition, that's such a great point, Alan. That's huge. And to just kind of be open to and be more aware of an intuition and take it seriously can make big changes and effects.
Don't be afraid of your own mind. If you're getting an intuition, if you're getting an impression, I teach remote viewing also, which you know what that is?
No.
A whole show about that. This is the ability to project your mind anywhere you want on the planet, past, present, or future. And the CIA was doing this with their people. There was a remote viewing program for the CIA to psychically spy on the Russians because they were psychically spying on us. It was a 30-year program at a Stanford Research Institute, and there are people doing this for the government. Look at Project Stargate. Look at the paranormal and the Pentagon. There's all these books that are mentioning this because it's innate to us. Telepathy, intuition, cognitive awareness of other realities. It's all who we really are. And I'm so happy you're doing programs.
This is so fascinating. Well, Alan, we just have a few minutes left in the show. What last message do you want to share with us today? And please share with everyone your website or how they can get a hold of you.
Well, the message is that we are at the threshold of a really amazing moment in history where we no longer will consider ourselves the freaks of nature. Life is here and it's for us. And it's giving us incentives to create more, to evolve, to create a peaceful planet. Who's ever showing up, and there are beings and there's things out there, welcome them, not naively, because you still have to protect yourself and know, but welcome them not out of fear, but as if you're equal to the other. They're greater than us on a soul level. They're equal to us. And if you come and face them on that level, there's no fear. There's only more to learn. And that's what we're
growth. Yeah, more to learn. And really, that's pretty exciting and pretty fascinating. It really is. Oh,
yeah, thank you, Paula, for being so open. People can get my book on Amazon, Making Contact, Alan Steinfeld, or at Barnes and Noble around the country. It's been published by St. Martin's Press, so it's gotten in bookstores where a lot of books on this subject have not been able to get in the bookstores because it's still considered fringe. But you know what? As the government comes out, as they actually make laws for people who are under NDAs to come forward and speak up, we're going to be hearing about this more and more. So this book is a primer. It's a preparation for the new realities of extraterrestrial existence, really. And it's about making contact with the others, but also with yourself, with the planet, with each other. That's the kind of essence of the book. So I think people will enjoy it. You can find me on my YouTube channel. I do like a show every week called youtube.com/new realities. I did a little program called New Reality Series, which is a series of 6 programs, newrealityseries.com. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, not so much Twitter, but you can find me around. So thank you and you can email me if you have a question at newrealities@earthlink.net. I'm happy to answer all and any questions.
oh, Alan, this has been so fantastic. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. I'm just thrilled to have shared you with everyone. Oh, everyone out there, thank you for joining us today. Love, hugs, and blessings. Alan, love, hugs, and blessings. This has been so great.
Thank you. Thank you for having an open mind to hear this.
Thank you, dear.